Chapter 1. Balance is the key. "I will make this as beautiful as I can," thought the young boy to himself, while he tried to fix the sand. Alder was trying to grow new kind of flowers that he had seen in LA on his way back home. They were beautiful and breathtaking. Alder, walking past the flowers put near the wall in his school alley. "Alder, lunch is ready. Come over," Alder's mom called him with slight raised voice. "Then we have to talk about what your teacher said. Come over, hurry," she continued. Alder's teacher said to his mother that he is not attentive in class. His focus keeps wandering. He makes drawings of flowers and gardens all day long, even when teachers want him to pay attention to his lessons. His mother knew about Alder's passion for gardens. He wanted to make a garden where world's rarest flowers are grown, bloomed, and experienced. It was his dream, and he would get so involved in searching, reading, and talking about gardens on internet, in books, talking to people about gardens, that he often would not care for others in his surroundings. It is as if others fade away. His friends would often express the thoughts to him that he does not care for them, and always only tending to the gardens and flowers. Alder would listen to them, but would not pay much attention, and kept going with his endeavors of finding latest information about gardening. "Alder, I want you on lunch table before I finish the score," Alder's mom yelled sternly this time. Alder was still in garden, now ready to sow seed in sand and finish today's gardening work. He was feeling exhausted now. It has been 2 hours now. He had been in garden after he came from school, and had not eaten there as well. He was about to wrap up the work by making the sturdy molds of sand from hand after he had input the seed, giving it an oval shape a bit protruded from above. As he pressed the sand with palm of his right hand, while all his fingers aligned to each other tightly, he saw a shiny, solid petal. It was something he had never seen before. Forgetting all about his tiredness, he began to dig and found another same petal in small shape with slightly different color, a bit lighter than the color of previous shade. He started digging more vigorously now, and reached a solid square-shaped box. There was a handle on top of it. He held the handle and opened it. The moment it was opened, an extremely bright light emerged. It was so bright that he could not see inside. And next thing he knows is his back struck ground, and he was touching his head with right hand, and knees bent making a triangle with only backside of feet touching ground. He saw lush green plants, beautifully aligned in all shapes and sizes. They seemed to belong to some other world, unique and exquisite. With a sudden rush of curiosity, both he stood up and began to walk. There were flowers everywhere on the way. They were magical, moving, dancing, and singing. Alder shook his head in disbelief, thinking probably it's a dream, but it was not. Even after shaking his head, nothing changed. The landscape and scenario remained same. It was unbelievably breathtaking, something that one could not even imagine. He kept moving faster, exploring and running around. While on his way he again saw a small shiny petal in the garden and bended to pick it up. He observed it closely and found that it was the same petal he found in his house garden. He held it in his hand palm and began to walk again. As he was seeing and finding these petals on his way, he kept collecting them. As of now he had collected quite a number of petals and kept tucking them in his pocket. And after hours of exploring this green lush beautiful valley on foot, walking continuously. Elder was now hungry and wanted to get back home for lunch. He tried to trace back his way, but could not find, and always ended up in same place. At one point he seemed to have lost his way back home, and could not find the way out. Thirst for water set in, and he finally sat on the ground to take some rest, thinking over and over about the way he came from, and possibly what mistakes he might be making in tracing his way back home. Unable to recall or retrace the footsteps, urge for drinking water kept rising, and he stood up and started searching for water. He could not find any water, but saw an old man who was standing near the waterfall. Elder was amazed. How did he not see the waterfall before? He had been through this route many times before, and it was not there. Elder began to walk towards waterfall so he can drink some water, but old man was standing in the way, and he would not move aside. "Who are you?" asked the old man to boy. "What are you doing here?" he asked again in same breath. "I don't know. I was working in my home garden, sowing seeds in soil, and next thing I know I was here. I have forgotten the way and could not find a way back now," boy responded with vestige of sadness in his voice. "Why do you came here at all then?" asked the old man with curiosity. Boy took out the shiny petal from his pocket and showed to the old man. "I saw this in my garden. I followed it, and it led me here." "You love flowers and gardens," old man responded with a glint of certainty in his eyes. Boy blurted with excitement. "Yes, I love them more than anything in my life. In fact, I spend most of my time in learning about them." "Why do you wish to leave them? Everything that you ever loved is here," old man asked with subtle smile, gazing at boy. "But my family is not here, my friends, my school, and so many things," boy responded unconsciously, effortlessly, and lost in thinking just after saying it. Old man stood there silently, without saying another word, watching the boy who was ruminating now on his own words. After a while boy looked at old man with a thought-provoking look, as if he understood what the old man was trying to make the boy comprehend. Passion is more important, but so as other things in life. "I want to go to my house. I have lost the way, and I am thirsty. Please help me," boy pleaded to old man. "Always remember, dear little boy, it is in giving that you receive things in unimaginable ways possible." Old man held boy's face lovingly. "I have nothing to give to you at this moment, but I want help from you," boy said in all his innocence. "You always have something to give, a kind smile, your time and advice, words of wisdom, loving people around you, helping them." Old man continued his response with endless things. Elder was very thirsty and hungry at this point, but the voice of old man started fading away. The old man was still saying something, while his back faced the little boy, referring something related to trees and garden. Now even the image of old man has started to fade away. "For now I have these petals. Please keep them, and help me." Elder placed them on stone and ran towards waterfalls to quench his thirst. As the first drop of water reached Elder's throat, he felt alive, and then the burst of water washed over him. He found himself lying flat in his house garden, and drenched in water, whilst his mom was standing next to him with empty water bucket in her right hand and with her left hand on waist, elbow pushed out and smiling. Elder sat up straight, saw that one piece of shiny petal near his foot. Suddenly he looked up at his mom, realizing he slept and dreamt. After having early dinner that day, Elder sat with his mom, apologized for his behavior, and asserted that he will be more careful in future and it will never happen again. His mom was a bit taken aback with this new change in Aldo's behavior. It was quite the positive change. She gave a bright, beaming smile and warm hug to her son. Before bed, Aldo sat on his studying table, recalled the dream, noted all the wise words the old man said, and then he jotted down all the important things in his life that he needed to pay attention to other than the love for garden and rare flowers. Elder, balance is the key to life, he said to himself while lying on bed and zooming out into deep sleep. The end.